Yeah.
Yeah. Woo, woo, woo.
This might be the BMF opening theme song. Seems to be a theme tonight. BMF, you know, BMF title on the line. Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje 2. You see Jan Blachowicz, you see Alex Pereira. Another fascinating fight. We did lose a fight, but we get Derek Lewis with the abs on the main card now. We got Michael Chiesa, Kevin Holland. We got Tony Ferguson, Bobby Green. This is going to be a fun card, everybody. And we are now live on the People's Pre-Fight Show, answering your questions, getting you ready for this stacked event with a nice tight 11 fights in Salt Lake City. Thank you for joining us. I am Mike Heck here in New York City. And joining me as always, the baddest stash at MMA, the best chair swinger in all of MMA. He is Casey Leydon.
Whoa. 3 spins. 3. I'm that excited. So many fights tonight. Wow. I'm dizzy.
For a moment there, I thought the chair was falling over. You were falling over. I thought everything was going to topple over. And that would not have been a great sign for the festivities tonight. Or maybe it would have been. I don't know. I'm just very excited for this one. There's a lot to like here. Everything has a storyline attached to it on this main card. Some of the prelims are interesting and competitive. There's going to be some firefights in the prelims. There's just a lot to like here. So I'm ready to talk about it with all of you. Throw your questions right in. Let's go. Let's get to this thing.
All right.
We'll go till 7 o'clock, and then I got to get the hell out of here and walk on over to the studio for the watch party.
First question. Here we go.
Emerson Cage. Thoughts on Stephen Thompson refusing to accept the fight with Michel Pereira, who missed weight by 3 pounds? Do you think more fighters need to do this when their opponent doesn't make the weight? So I tweeted out, and you probably agree with me on this, Casey. If anybody out there is like blaming Wonderboy for this, then you're not understanding what's happening here. Wonderboy has been through this before. He had to deal with it with Darren Till, and Darren had a big weight miss. They worked out something so Darren could still fight. I think he had to weigh in the morning of the fight as well to make sure he wasn't once he was hydrated.
Rehydration clause kind of thing.
Yeah. Till was fine. And then the fight happens. That was the Darren Till oblique kicking Wonderboy throughout almost the entirety of the fight. But a lot of people thought Wonderboy won. I still to this day thought Wonderboy won. Darren Till gets a weird decision. And then I believe he went on to get knocked out by Anthony Pettis right after that when he was knocking on the door of getting back to a title fight. Wonderboy Thompson is 40. He is on the last legs of his title hopes. Like, he's a few wins away, but he's in the picture. With the storyline world we live in, the UFC putting Wonderboy in a position to fight for the belt one more time, not far-fetched. Wonderboy's still a very popular fighter. So in this case, why would Wonderboy take this fight? I don't blame him at all for not taking it. And I had a feeling when we didn't get some sort of answer after the official weigh-ins that Wonderboy probably was going to take this fight unless he had certain things in play, and he probably didn't get them. So he said, screw it, I'm not going to fight. So your thoughts on Wonderboy not taking this fight, and should this be a thing? Because we've seen a lot of veteran fighters come out and be like, good for you, Wonderboy. There should be rules in place, different kinds of penalties outside of just 20 and 30% forfeiture of purses and things of that nature. What do you think about Wonderboy's decision and just this conversation in general moving forward?
Overall, can't really criticize Wonderboy for doing this. Like you kind of said it all. He's 40 years old, and most importantly, if he would have taken a loss tonight, any sort of loss, it could have been a razor close decision, whatever. No one's gonna care. No, everybody forgets that stuff, and I have a feeling this type of weight miss by Pereira. Now, some weight misses, we just had one last week. Maybe 2 weeks ago. Jalen Turner, when he missed weight. He missed weight against Hooker, right? Yeah. Hooker still took the fight. And I think it was kind of the common thinking that bad weight cut, even though he missed weight, even though technically Jalen Turner was a little heavier, that weight miss actually hurt him because he had to kind of strain himself even extra to even come close to missing weight. I think he only missed weight. He missed weight by less than 3 pounds, right? It was only like a pound and a half or something. Do you
Yeah,
recall?
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, something
low,
like
small.
that.
Yeah, I think Stephen Thompson's camp was thinking Michelle Pereira. Essentially, there's good weight misses and bad weight misses. This is in terms of being an advantage for your opponent. I think this was a bad weight miss, in since that Michelle Pereira maybe just didn't try hard enough, and where it's not going to hurt him in the fight. So no, I have no issue with it. And like I said, if he would have got knocked out, lost, then he's done. He's done as far as ever fighting for that title. And now, hey, this opens up that MVP Wonderboy MVP fight.
Well, that fight's. I mean, Wonderboy was asked about that at the media day, and he was like, "No, we're like buds now, so
Oh,
they're in
okay,
the
they're
same
buds now.
management group."
Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
they've been
never mind.
training together a little bit. They've met, and
Actually,
they've gotten
I don't
close.
want to see that fight honestly because I don't actually like two similar styles to fight each other. But I know the fans kind of want it. But hey, maybe this opens up Michelle Pereira versus MVP. Who knows?
Okay, let me ask you this: how is the UFC going to react to this? Are they going
Because
to penalize Wonderboy with his next fight? Are they going to chuck him in there with just a really horrible matchup? Like, how do you think? Do you think Dana? I don't know if even Dana is going to be there tonight because he's been on vacation. But the next time Dana is asked about this, do you think he'll say, "Look, Wonderboy can do whatever he wants"? Do you think he's going to give Wonderboy some crap? How do you think the UFC is going to respond to this?
I think nine no 9 out of 10 times they will respond negatively with a fighter not taking the fight. But I think since this card was so massively loaded at the top, this card could handle this loss. And I think that's the main difference. If this was a main event for a fight night, big difference. Big difference. Imagine if this was UFC Apex and this was the main event, which it could have been. This is the type of fight that would main event a fight night Apex card. Then it'll be different. But on a card like this, nah, I don't think it's a big issue. Especially when you get to replace it with someone like six pack Derek Lewis. I think this is that rare circumstance where they're like, fine, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm curious. Hopefully, Wonderboy say he wants to get back sooner rather than later. Maybe they'll chuck him on. I don't know. I don't know when. Who and when should Wonderboy fight next?
Don't worry about the win part. I think's month and a half, month or whatever. But who's the who? I think I'm more interested in that because this is a fight we kind of wanted to see. So it's kind of bummed we're not going to see it. But there's still.
Do you kind of feel like he might get like JDM, maybe on that Sydney card? I know JDM had a tough fight, but do they want to give him that? Do you think that's where they go? Or do they just get JDM on that Sydney card and just get him a win?
That would be good. For Wonderboy though. That's you get the fight on a big card. He'll probably be on the main card, I would assume. But ranking wise, I don't know about that. If Wonderboy's seriously going like I'm like everything is about the title shot or at least that one last run. I don't know if JDM's that guy. But if he wants to fight soon, JDM is that guy. Otherwise, you might have to wait a bit.
Let's look at this. Maybe they do Usman. It's not a bad one. That'd be a good one. I mean, Usman's available. There's Colby fighting for the title. Bilal already beat him. Hamzat's fighting Costa at 185. Burns already beat him. Shafkat's booked. Jeff Neal there. He already beat Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal's fighting Ian Gary.
I like the Usman
beat Luke A. Usman would be a good one.
I like the Usman one a lot. I didn't even think about that. Because I kind of had the Usman Hamzat thing stuck in my head because I know that was like blah blah blah. But Usman has to fight someone, and Usman Wonderboy. Yeah, I can, and that's a very tough matchup, of course, for Wonderboy. But the reward, though, if you beat Usman, is very high.
You might jump the line if he wins that fight.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Especially if he wins dynamically,
Here's what I think they will offer him, and he ain't gonna like it very much. I think they're gonna offer him Sean Brady. top 10 guy. I think Brady's 8, maybe. Is he 8? Brady is tied for 8, which is a spot behind Wonderboy. So it's not like a huge step back. But yeah, God, Usman's. I mean, Usman would be a good one.
I
Wonderboy ain't
like
turning that one down.
I like the clash of styles. I like that. I like that. Um, I'm gonna push you for Usman, but Sean Brady is more likely. I wonder what Usman thinks about that fight. I wonder what his opinions of a Wonderboy fight would be.
I mean, he'd probably think it's winnable.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. All right,
We'll see what happens.
good job. I like that.
Maybe I should do a matchmaking show. I don't know.
Maybe.
Are we sure Lewis versus Marcus Rogério de Lima will be a banger? I think Lewis may do the bare minimum to save his job. He has lost 4 or 5. Okay, so I will not. I completely disagree with you
What
on
is the
the
bare-
job security.
Yeah, I know.
On the job security, Derek. Look, Derek. They are not going to cut Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis is going to fight in the UFC until Derek Lewis doesn't want to fight in the UFC anymore. He's not going to get released. He's not going to get cut. Derek Lewis is still a fun guy to have around fight week. People still love the guy. Dude took this camp very, very seriously, it appears. He looks in the best shape of his life. He's not getting cut. We're not – look, Derek Lewis ain't fighting for belts. Rankings mean nothing. Title contention means nothing. People just want to watch this dude fight. I don't know if this is going to be a banger or not. This is going to be fun no matter what. Either – this fight is going to end in like 2 minutes, or it is going to be a sweaty slog, but like of the best kind, where because it's heavyweights, it's
and at elevation,
going to kind of be, yes.
At elevation. Don't forget that.
I think we're just going to kind of have fun with it no matter what.
Yeah.
Even though it's slow. Like this is the let you up fight, I guess, on the card now. Like, I kind of wish this was the first fight on the card, but now it's the middle fight. So we're gonna get Chiesa Holland first, then we're gonna get Ferguson Bobby Green. And if Ferguson just gets belted all over the octagon and we're feeling pretty bad, then like no matter what happens here, whether it's like a 2-minute just insane finish or just like a sloppy, fun, grit and heart, sweaty battle, it's still gonna be kind of fun. So this is going to be kind of the let us up fight in some respects before we get into the 2 big ones. Banger. I don't know if like anyone's really called this a banger, but
this fight's going to be a banger. I don't care. Because no matter what happens, it's going to rule. Like if they just throw hammers at first 30 seconds and then are completely gassed, I don't care. I want to just see 2 bulked out men just stare at each other like, ugh. I love those fights. Those are amazing. So this fight is awesome. I have a heavyweight at elevation. Like one of my favorite fights ever is Mark Hunt versus Ben Rothwell in Denver. Go to UFC Fight Pass and watch that fight. Amazing. So I'm excited about this fight, and I hope it goes to the 3rd round. I just hope it goes to the 3rd round.
It could. Derek Lewis by decision is a very popular bet I've been seeing.
Did I pick this decision? I don't know. I was seeing it a little bit. All right.
Do you think it's best for Tony to retire if he loses to Bobby tonight? What do you think?
Give me the situation. How does he lose? Give me the situation. Like one shot, boom, out, or loses a dominant decision.
If he is not competitive, all right, I'll lay out the 2 scenarios how I think this could go if Tony loses. Tony gets just belted around in the first round, gets dropped and ground and pounded out in like round 2, or Bobby Green just 30-27s him by just boxing him all up and down the octagon all night. Neither of those situations are ideal for Tony Ferguson, but if either of those 2 things happen, is it best for Tony to retire?
Is it best for Tony to retire? I think he still has one more fight in him, and if he loses tonight badly, like in those scenarios, I think the next fight will be his official retirement fight, and that'll be nice. I think it'll be nice to give him that kind of Robbie Lawler treatment in the sense of, we know we can celebrate it going into when he goes into the cage all that week, he can be celebrated rather than geez, oh man, we gotta see Tony get his butt kicked, because right now there's a sense of dread watching Tony Ferguson fight right now. But if he loses and we kind of know it's his retirement fight, I think it would just be a more positive experience with one more fight, knowing this is his last dance.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. I'm picking Tony Ferguson to win this fight.
Spoiler alert. Me too.
By decision. Only, like, this is a fight Tony can win. And like I talked about a little bit on the preview show, like, these two styles are very weird and strange, colliding at each other. And it's very tough to score a Bobby Green fight. Judges have screwed up many of Bobby Green fights. So if this is somewhat competitive going to the cards, Ferguson by decision is pretty live. So I'm not confident in it. This is one of my, like, all right, I think
You're going
Shaheen will probably
pick your heart. You're picking with your heart, right?
I just think he can win. Like, I think he can win. I'm not, like, if it's 50-50, if someone's like, Mike, here's $20, no value, it's just who you think wins, I'm probably picking Bobby Green. But there are paths for Tony to win. Like, there is, in my opinion. And we'll see if he does. If he just goes out and just gets run over by Bobby Green, to be fair, I kind of thought it was best for Tony to retire after he lost to Nate Diaz, because he did not look good at all in that fight. But no one's going to tell this man when he's got to stop. Like, I don't even think Dana or the UFC could tell him when to stop. So maybe they can come to some sort of agreement. Dude, go fight Jim Miller. Go fight Joe Lozon. UFC 300, last fight. I think that's okay. But just like all these fights, I have no idea what's going to happen here. No clue.
Bobby Green, I'm looking at his typology, like, and it's a strange career. It's very streaky. He's not a win loss guy. He's lots of losses, lots of wins, and was that Jared Gordon fight just kind of, I wish we had some real resolution in that fight. It kind of just a bummer how it kind of came about.
Yeah, Jared Gordon's last two fights have been very weird.
Yeah, well, yeah. Who in that Jared Gordon fight? How was that fight going up until the headbutt?
So Jared was looking pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
And then Bobby kind of figured, it looked like Bobby kind of figured some stuff out and was starting to cook until the headbutt happened. So It looked like the momentum was starting to shift a little bit, but we don't really know how it was going to go. Like, Bobby's starting to land before that clash of heads happened.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Thoughts on the BMF title? Do you think Poirier versus Gaethje needed that BMF title to make it even more exciting than it already is? No, this fight didn't need the BMF title, but I think Shaheen kind of said it perfectly yesterday. This is the ESPN deal. Do something. Just say there's some title on the line. This is, in essence, just a cooler way to say it's an interim title fight, but you're just putting a different kind of coat of paint on it, because the winner of this fight's getting a title shot. They're getting the winner of Makhachev. They're basically the number one contender for the winner of that fight. But this is just a different thing. You get Masvidal involved, which is kind of cool. We're passing it on, and it didn't need it. But something Jed said on BTL is very, very true. Like, no one's even talking about it, really, except for the UFC. Like, we talked about it for 40 minutes on the preview show. Didn't even mention the title outside of just the introduction of the fight. So I don't think it adds anything really to it. If you care about it, great. Then it's cherry on top of the sundae. And if you think it's dumb, just don't even think about it. Just think about Poirier and Gaethje fighting each other, because that's going to be great.
Yeah. I'm more on the dumb side, only because I wish there was some kind of rules to the BMF title, in the sense that you don't have to defend it. It's just you win it. They just announce it. In a sense, they're going to do this in about a year from now. Who knows? There'll be some other fight who they just want a main event, a pay-per-view on, and they'll just put that BMF title on it. So I wish there was some sort of criteria for it. I don't know, but I think I'm with you.
It's sad when we invented the middleweight title, and that has more lineage than the BMF title.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So it's whatever.
I will say this: it'll be a really fun moment. I'm not picking Justin Gaethje to win this fight, but it'll be a very fun moment if Masvidal wraps the belt around Gaethje. It would be kind of fun because Gaethje already said like, no, I'm gonna make him put the belt on me.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, that's good. That's good, Justin. Good stuff. Question: which fight has the most potential to steal fight of the night from the main event, Casey? And why is it Derek Lewis versus Marcus Rogerio de Lima?
I hope it's Derek Lewis in the Lima. Who could win? Who could win fight of the night? I'm trying to look on the prelims. Maybe I'm kind of hoping Jake Matthews and Darius Flowers is gonna be a banger.
That fight's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, I think that's the fight I'm really looking forward to, and just kind of crossing my fingers. This one's gonna be just a little bit a low key fight of the year contender. That's I'm hoping for. So I'm gonna go Flowers Matthews.
That one's gonna be nuts. I just don't know if it's gonna. Well, I mean, we've seen like 3.5 minute fights win fight of the night. People are gonna think I'm just absolutely insane, but I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna put up positive. I'm gonna put up as many positive vibes about this fight as I can. I'm gonna say Tony Ferguson, Bobby Green. I don't know why.
That was my second choice.
Yeah, I have it. Like if that fight is like fun at all, there's a chance it could get it. Like if Poirier Gaethje is not a long fight, like if that fight gets ended in the first round, like Ferguson and Green could win fight of the night. Like it's possible.
I think, especially if Tony wins. I think when Tony wins, he wins. It's gonna be a crazy scrap if he wins.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right.
Yeah, Matthews Flowers is just gonna be insane. I like the flyweight fight too. Semelsberger Medic will be fun. There's a lot of fun fights on this card.
All right. Oh, this is for you, Mr. Heck.
Did y'all book the special guests for the main event watch party? We did not. Sorry. We tried.
Fell through.
I found out this morning. Didn't happen. Originally, they thought we were going to do it in person, which would have been great, but just logistically not physically possible to do. It would have been very cool. We just couldn't get it to happen. So New York Rick will be on for the main event. So that's still a special guest. It was a lightweight, a ranked lightweight, someone who will probably be fighting for a title at some point in the next 24 months, but just couldn't get it done.
All right. This one's for me.
When are you in the cage next, Case? Do we have any news to announce?
Still looking at early October. That's what I'm looking at. I just did 2 sessions today. Did my Muay Thai training and my MMA training today, and that was very hard in a very hot gym. I think I sweated off 5-6 pounds. Oh, it was brutal. But yeah. I did my first jiu-jitsu tournament last week. Went 2-2. So I did okay. I won both my matches in overtime. I lost one in overtime, and I did get submitted in a match, which I'm still very upset about because I got really tired, and I just made a stupid mental error, and my posture was dumb, and yeah, it was a bad one. But I got caught in a triangle. So and Josh Barnett was looking at me because Josh Barnett was coaching me, and Josh Barnett's like, oh, he's like Casey. So, oh no. Man, having Josh Barnett just because he doesn't yell at you, he doesn't get mad, he just gets disappointed. That's the worst. No. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, Josh. He's like, it's okay, Casey, it's okay. But I was like,
it's okay.
It's okay. But yeah. So I'm looking at October. So we'll see. Nothing official yet. But thanks for asking. Get my weight low. I'm walking around about 160. A little above 165. I'm at 167. I was 167 after practice. My next fight, I do plan to fight at 156. So I'm gonna be a very skinny lightweight, 6 foot tall, skinny lightweight. That's gonna be me.
Nice.
Oh boy. All right.
All right, keep them coming. We got like 20 minutes here.
Oh yeah, here we go. We got lots of questions.
Alex Pereira says he's like 228 pounds as of yesterday. After seeing how much bigger he looks than Jan at the weigh-ins as well, has this changed your opinion on how this fight might go? What about you? What do you think about that, Case? We talked about this a little bit on the previous show, or at least I gave my thoughts on this. What did you think?
The fact that Pereira is still going to be the bigger light heavyweight, most likely, in terms of height and weight. I think this is good. I'm really interested to see how Pereira's chin holds up, though, in a good way, because that's 20 more pounds of liquid to protect your brain from bouncing around. 20, like the gap between middleweight and light heavyweight is gigantic, 20 freaking pounds. So I think, I don't know, when this fight was announced, I was like, oh, geez, it's bad for Alex. It's a tough fight. But I don't know, I don't know. I'm getting the vibes. I'm getting Alex Pereira vibes. I don't know. I see it more when you kind of see the fight. I'm seeing Alex Pereira like bring some violence in there, and that big cage. If he can keep his feet moving and get away from Jan, and like you say, he's now been doing this for a while with Glover Teixeira up in Connecticut, right? Is that where they train at? Yeah, and these guys are high-level professionals, and I do not think Glover is sending Alex Pereira out not prepared. I'm not saying Alex Pereira is a black belt or even a brown belt in jiu-jitsu or anything, but I think he is a very high-level athlete who knows how to use his size. And I don't know. I'm feeling very positive about Alex Pereira's chances tonight.
Yeah, I laid out my scenario. Flying knee, round 2. Alex Pereira gets it done.
Yep. I do see. I'm for Pereira. I've seen something late in the fight. All
right. What's more likely to happen? A Tony Ferguson submission victory or an Alex Pereira decision win? It's a good question.
If Alex Pereira wins, I think he will win by a knockout. I don't think he'll win by decision. Actually, I do think he could lose a round or two just by getting laid on, essentially. But I do think if Tony Ferguson wins, it will be that his classic Darce, which I'm really looking forward to. If Tony Ferguson, Tony Ferguson has maybe one of the best Darces in all of MMA. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So if Tony Ferguson wins, I'm going Darce.
I'll probably go. Yeah, it's probably Ferguson because I do agree that if Alex Pereira wins, it's probably by knockout. Like if this goes 20, if this goes 15, I don't love his chances in getting it on the cards. I'm picking Ferguson by like weird splitty. But yeah, if I have to choose one or the other, it's probably the Ferguson sub because it could happen. There's paths to it. I'm not saying Pereira couldn't win by decision. I just don't think it's very likely.
Agreed.
Do both 291 Spence Crawford hit 500K pay-per-view buys? I think Spence Crawford's going to definitely do over 5. Do you think this one does over 5?
Ooh. 290.
If it does,
it was only 2 weeks ago. Was that just 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago?
That was 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
I don't think that did. I mean, look, we're never going to know those numbers.
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah,
but I don't think that did 500. I don't think that.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was just, but I'm more talking about MMA fans' pocketbook. As far as like buying 2 pay-per-views in less than a month.
Spence Crawford will.
Spence Crawford, no doubt.
I'm confident that will do over 500K. This will be close. If this does 500K, like that's good. In 2023, 500K is really good. It's a good number.
Yeah, it's a good number. We'll go Spence Crawford. Who knows about 290? Who knows about 291 though?
I'll say, you know what? Positive. I'll say yes. Slightly. Like 501,000 pay-per-view buys for 291. Will the loser of the BMF title fight retire, Casey?
I honestly think if Gaethje looks bad, which I don't think he will look bad, But if Dustin Poirier just really outclasses him tonight, and it's not like the first match where it's just we don't get that fight tonight, we just kind of get a solid victory from Dustin Poirier. I do think Gaethje will retire if he takes a bad loss tonight. If it's a fun, crazy scrap and he just gets caught, no. But if it's just Gaethje just isn't, I don't know, something just he just looks a little slow, almost like when Tony Ferguson fought Nate Diaz, he just didn't look the same. Um, but I do think Gaethje will retire. I think he's that type of guy. Like once he's done, like all right, I'm done, I'm out. I hope not. That's a big I hope not. I want to see Gaethje fight more. I love Gaethje is clearly one of the most exciting fighters ever to grace the sport. But
And he still looks really good. Like he looked really good in the Fiziev fight. I don't think Poirier retires either way.
I don't think Poirier. Yeah.
I just think there's like if he can fight Conor one more time and get that bag, I think he'll do it. I still think there's fights for him. Gaethje, I mean, if he just gets worked start to finish, maybe. Like if he just like I think outclass is the right word. If he gets outclassed tonight, I could see him just being like, look, if I don't feel like I can win a title, I can't do this anymore. Like fighters say it all the time, but I believe Gaethje when he says it. But I don't think he's gonna get outclassed tonight. I'm picking Poirier, but it's gonna in a very competitive fight. So I don't think that will be enough to make him to get to that position.
Yeah. If Gaethje takes that type of loss tonight, I think it's actually gonna be a kind of a, I don't want to put bad juju out there. It actually won't be a good fight somehow. It will actually be kind of this, I don't know, just not a good fight, especially from the expectations.
And if Dustin loses to Gaethje, well, I'll answer this. We'll get to this in a second. If Dustin loses tonight, he's not like if Justin loses, he's way far out of the title picture. Still a very exciting guy, still big fights for him. Dustin is in a tough spot, but if somehow Justin Gaethje wins the title, you do the trilogy fight for the title. So Dustin isn't like completely out of it. If he loses, Justin might be, unless something crazy happens. So if anyone's going to retire off of this, I do think it's Justin Gaethje, but it will have to be because he just gets clubbed all over the octagon tonight, and I just don't think that happens. So, am I crazy to think that Poirier's clearest path to victory would be to try and take down and submit Gaethje? In my opinion, Khabib and Charles exposed Justin's ground game.
I don't think exposed is the right word.
I don't think that's the right word. No.
Yeah, I think just Khabib and Charles are extremely just A++ level athletes on the ground. That's all.
And let's also not forget that Charles thumped Justin Gaethje before he submitted him. It wasn't like he just tackled him once and tapped him. He hurt Gaethje a lot. Gaethje says Charles Oliveira is the hardest hitter he's ever fought. Like he has an immense amount of respect for that guy because of how hard Justin got hit. He's never been hit like that before. Khabib is a little different because Khabib got leg kicked a million times in that first round, and I think two of the judges actually scored that first round for Gaethje, but eventually Khabib got him down. So Gaethje, his takedown defense is incredible. Like it's really, really good. But to this question's point, if Poirier does get a takedown, that is going to be very good for him because Poirier's got really good top control and he inflicts damage when he's on top. He doesn't just lay on you. He is really good at keeping you down there, and he makes you pay for staying down there. And Gaethje has a hard time getting off of his back. So I do understand that being somewhat of a path to victory for Dustin Poirier. Having said that, do I think Poirier attempts one? Sure, I do, because there's a path there for him. But I kind of feel like what Shaheen and AK and Jed and everybody else says about this fight, I think they're both going to come in very tactical with like a certain game plan. And then like 3 minutes into the fight, they're just gonna be like, F this. We are who we are.
They're going to feel that roar of the crowd. And they're going to get those vibes. Yeah. When that crowd pops. Yeah.
Yeah. It is a path though, but I don't know how many times Poirier tries it.
I don't think Dustin can take Gaethje down straight up. I think it would have to come with he'll have to go to the ground with him, like Gaethje gets dropped or some weird scramble, there's a trip or something like that. But in terms of just a clear, like I'm gonna shoot in, get a double leg on Gaethje or whatever, it won't be in the traditional wrestling sense that if Dustin gets Gaethje down, it'll come with some sort of trip or something along the cage or something, or he gets dropped. But yeah.
Let me
But
ask you this, because you guys did the weigh-in show yesterday, so you got to see it. I got a bunch of DMs asking me about how Justin looked on the scale yesterday, and I didn't see it. Like I honestly did not see the actual weigh-in as was happening, but a lot of people were commenting that he looked kind of rough and Dustin looked a lot better. Did you get that sense too, or
No, I didn't get that
because
sense.
I didn't see it? Okay, all right. I wanted to check because I actually didn't see it.
No, no, I didn't get that sense. I mean, no. I was like, okay,
Okay.
he looks like he just got out of the sauna. He looks like not in the best mood, but he's just like, all right, let me flex for 5 seconds, thank you, Heidi, and then he'll walk off and he'll drink his Pedialyte, and then if we saw him like 10 minutes later, I'm sure you wouldn't said anything, but we're seeing him at their worst,
Yeah.
So no, I
Okay.
didn't think anything of it. Where is it? Oh.
All right, I'll take a few more, then we'll do our predictions. This is the best night of fighting in a long time. I assume he means the all-encompassing of
Yeah.
the combat schedule. This is a really good night. This is the best
Dude,
one in a while.
I've been looking forward to tonight because I plan to stay up till about 5 or 6 in the morning because I'm so excited about I mean, Ryzen is my favorite promotion. I talk about that all the time as far as just the show they put on. I love Ryzen. I'm super excited about the Ryzen card. I'm not excited about staying up so long to do it, but I do love this night. Yeah, best boxing night, the best boxing fight in the jeez, it's just the last couple years at least. That aren't heavyweights. A great main card from the UFC, and then a really good Rising card. Yes. The answer is
Even,
yes,
and
Mr. Thomas.
even the Bellator Rising card is pretty good.
Yeah,
Losing
no,
AJ kind of stinks, but even
that sucks. But I love the replacement, the Souza with what's his name?
it's just
Souza. Sorry. Yeah. He's like, I think he's so exciting. Get to see Horiguchi back at his real weight class.
him and Takahashi. Man, that fight's gonna rule.
Yeah.
God, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah, I'm super excited, and there's lots of Japanese fighters I'm just unfamiliar with, but but they always put talented scrappers in there, so I'm just excited about the whole night of fight. So yes, this is a excellent night of fighting.
Yep. Do fighters get extra when they're on the pay-per-view? Not the main event fighters who get the pay-per-view points, just like the pay-per-view openers, etc. No, they don't.
Unfortunately, no. No. Maybe if you secretly do if they have really good managers, but I would say no. Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually just the main event or title fights that get the points. Why is the co-main event for the vacant light heavyweight title?
If they wouldn't have made it, does it change the whole dynamic? If I don't know, does it mean if all of a sudden they announced it once Jamal Hill vacated, if they wouldn't like, I'm trying to imagine if they would.
Do you still can you feasibly still headline Poirier Gaethje for the non-title over the actual title fight though? Like, I mean, you're the UFC, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but
Yeah.
I just feel like those two, it would take shine off of Poirier and Gaethje a little bit. And I think this card's kind of about them in a sense. So, and look, they could have done it. I don't know. I think it was just kind of too soon. Just let these guys, because we don't know what Pereira's going to look like. Pereira could just look like, we don't know what he's going to look like at 205. Maybe Jan Blachowicz has like a really just, like if Jan, like most people think if Jan wins, it's going to be like a boring wrestling heavy decision. And maybe the UFC didn't want to put the title on the line.
25 minutes.
Chance.
It could have been 25 minutes of that too. It could have been 25 minutes of Jan just grinding out a
Yeah.
win. I get
So,
why they didn't do it. I wouldn't mind if
yeah.
they did, but I'm not not shaking my fist at the air,
Yeah.
that they didn't. So I don't think there was a rush.
Yeah.
All right.
And if Pereira wins, we're going to get Pereira versus Yuri, which is just insane. God, that fight is incredible.
Yeah, because that fight is incredible because that would mean Pereira beat Jan. So we kind of have that,
Yeah.
if it was just Pereira versus Yuri right now, that's really cool. But if Pereira can beat Jan and then do the Yuri fight, I think I feel like that's what the UFC is waiting for. Do you think the UFC wants Pereira to win in terms of
Oh
money?
my God, yes. If there's anything that could happen tonight that would make the UFC's night, it's Pereira knocking out Jan Blachowicz. That would be the thing that's like, this is a great night for us, because then they can do the Yuri fight, and if somehow Pereira wins that fight too,
opens up Izzy going up
we could
205.
do the Izzy fight
Yeah.
at 205. Like,
Ooh.
of course they want Pereira to win this fight. Like, they'll make it work if Jan wins, but they'll never admit it. But yeah, they are hoping Pereira gets the job done tonight.
Oh my goodness, Pereira and Izzy for the belt, with Pereira being the champion at 205. Oh my God.
Good God. Does it feel like Kevin Holland, Mike Chiesa is flying under the radar, low key banger? No, it is flying under the radar.
Yeah, because we haven't talked about it. Yeah, it's an awesome,
really
fight.
Good fight.
2 top 10 welterweights. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Every fight on this main card, I am just like, no result would shock me. None.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't know what I have no idea what to expect from Kevin Holland, Michael Chiesa. I really, it could go so many ways, and they're all kind of, we talk about a fight that can't suck. I don't know if this is gonna be fight of the night, but I do not see this fight sucking though. I think it's gonna be, no matter what, it will be just a solid, entertaining, high level martial arts fight.
I do feel like both guys are gonna try to finish this one. Like, Chiesa's not a big knockout artist, but if this fight goes to the floor, he ain't just gonna lay on Holland. He's gonna try to tap his ass real quick, and Holland's gonna try to knock out Chiesa. So I do think it's gonna be fun. Like, wherever this fight goes, whatever strength that they have, they're going to use that to try to get this fight out of there. This will not, I just don't see this being sloggy. A weird clash of styles, perhaps. Like, if you're a Kevin Holland fan and you want to see like the best stylistic Kevin Holland fights, this is probably not it. But Guess has been out for a minute. And what's he going to look like? What's Holland going to look like coming off of a really bad loss to Wonderboy? That was his last fight, right? The Wonderboy fight, or did he fight?
Pretty sure, yeah. And he had a broken hand in that fight, so I'm gonna, I know there was injuries that happened during the fight, so I'm gonna, great.
No, he fought. No, because the dude's an animal. The dude's a friggin' animal. He knocked out Ponzinibbio. He beat Ponzinibbio. Yeah. I forgot that happened. I was like, oh yeah, Kevin Holland's gonna be out for like 7 months, and he's like 2 months later, he's back in there fighting.
Yeah, you're right. Why did I forget? Why did I forget about that fight? Was that an Apex fight? Was that why?
No, it's 287. It was the UFC 287.
Why don't I remember that fight?
That was a main card fight.
Huh, just kind of, I don't know, I just can't remember it. Yeah.
Dude,
I do remember the fight, but like the order of it, like I really thought the Wonderboy loss came last. I really, I didn't.
Because it wasn't that long ago. It was in December. That was 7 months ago. And he's already fought since then. He took a hellacious beating in that fight and had the hand injury, which his team showed the x-rays and stuff. It was just nasty. That dude fought Hamzat and then that Wonderboy fight in a 3-month span, which is nuts.
And remember, he's doing this at welterweight now. Remember, we talked about he was at 85 forever. He kind of gave up on welterweight, and now he comes in underweight. He weighed in he came in 169 or 168.
Yep. Unbelievable. All right. Will I be watching Spence Crawford at the watch party? No, we will not be. We're watching 291. It's unfortunate. Yeah, but you can follow along. Follow along at MMAfighting.com. Tremendous website. I don't know. Maybe GC always finds ways to surprise me. So maybe he has figured out a way to do this.
I'm so bummed about it because I kind of want to do the 2-screen thing, but I don't want to. then I feel like I'm half watching both fights, and
Yeah.
like, and then you kind of you don't get the real experience. I know, so I don't know. I honestly, I think I'm just gonna watch the 291 card straight up, and then I'm just gonna watch Spence Crawford tomorrow in its entirety. I probably know. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna know who won already, but I'm just gonna just watch
Yeah.
it as it is.
I'm gonna watch. Yeah, I think that's kind of the way to do it. I'll probably watch that like tomorrow night after I get home, and just like watch it by myself and just take it all in. Don't have to follow Twitter scorecards or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch Bellator Ryzen like at the airport tomorrow. Catch up on it on the Showtime stream, and then obviously 291 tonight. All right, real quick. Bonuses. Bonuses, Casey. I feel like the fight of the night is pretty obvious, but maybe you're going outside the box here.
Let's see. Friday night main event. Performance of the night. I am going Derek Lewis, and I'm gonna go early in the card. Actually, I'm gonna go Matthew Simmelsberger.
Semmelsberger. Okay.
Simmelsberger, yeah. Only because I think that other fights are gonna be so. Oh, am I crazy not saying Pereira? Okay, no, sorry. You're out. Sorry, Matthew. You're gone. You're done. Alex Pereira performance. Yeah,
all right.
it's got to be Pereira. Yeah, if he wins, if he wins anyway, he will get a performance. Yeah, he'll win. Okay.
Main event Pereira, and I'm gonna go with. I know he's a big favorite, but it's the featured prelim. I'll go Gabriel Bonfim getting a bonus because I think he's gonna get. I think he's gonna tap Trevin Giles in the first round with something nasty. All right, main card picks. We got. Let's get the betting odds here according to our friends at DraftKings. I believe this will be a chat bet fight on the watch party. We have Kevin Holland, the minus 145 favorite, taking on the returning Michael Chiesa, who comes back at plus 125. Casey, who wins first fight of the pay-per-view?
Going Kevin Holland decision.
I'm going Michael Chiesa with a very, very, very strong round one, but Kevin being all squirrely and hanging in there. And then he lands a big shot in the second round and gets Michael out.
Ooh, all right.
That's what I think. Yeah, and again, I'm not confident in like any of these picks.
Yeah. I'm trying to play it in my head. I have a hard time for that fight.
Yeah, it's a tough one. You're picking Ferguson by submission, right?
No, I'm actually picking Ferguson by decision.
Oh, me too. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah. I think the elevation is going to be his advantage. He will drop a round. I think he'll win 2 out of 3 rounds.
Yeah, I think it could be a fight where people are going to be like, "Oh, Bobby won that fight, but Tony got one of the cards or something like that, and gets a splitty." I mean, how could you not? I have a feeling we're both picking Derek Lewis. I'm picking Derek Lewis first round KO, but this could go 15 real easy.
I'm going Derek Lewis. I put first round KO, but I'm actually I think it's gonna be second round KO.
Okay.
I think yeah.
Mythical third round Derek Lewis. You never know. Yeah. I have Alex Pereira second round KO, flying knee after a sloggy first round where Jan does what everybody thinks he's gonna do, and then boom, flying knee round 2.
Pereira loses the first round, doesn't take any damage. Second round's competitive. Third round, Pereira left hook.
Ooh, the patented left hook. All right. Main event, Casey. The BMF title on the line. Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje. Let me look at the odds right now. Dustin Poirier minus 150. The comeback on Justin Gaethje plus 130. From a betting perspective, all the value on Justin Gaethje, in my opinion, just because he has that plus sign next to it. I think that this fight is as close-knit as it gets. Can Gaethje get one back? Will he get one back? Casey Leydon.
He does not. Dustin Poirier, unanimous decision. 4 rounds to 1.
I'm going Poirier decision as well. I'm going Splitty City, but it's just going to be an incredible fight. God, I can't wait. Hit the music. I gotta get
know.
out of here. I'm so fired up. I'm so fired up. I gotta go walk across the street. I gotta pound some energy drinks, throw a couple darts around, and get ready for UFC 291. So
Let's go!
Watch party, 9:45 p.m. Eastern. Join us. We're going to have a damn good time watching these fights. Myself, GC, Shaheen will join us for the co-main event. New York Rick for the main event. And we're just going to have a blast. Probably ripping some packs, play some trivia. Jose's on site, so stay on the YouTube channel for post-fight interviews with the winners, post-fight press conference, we'll have a post-fight show later on, tomorrow morning, I guess, depending on where you're at. On to the next one tomorrow. Just buckle up, everybody.
Woo!
And let's have some fun. All coverage, all the big events going on tonight and into early morn. MMAfighting.com, your home for it all. For Casey, I am Mike Heck. Let's have fun, everybody. Enjoy it.
How do we like our motherfuckers? We like them bad. Woo!